Okay, what I was doing, I been playing around with the idea. Now, when I chopped the window, I added a new panel in here. This was a little bit wider, but because this is the door came off of a Ford, and this is the molding. This is a Studebaker body. You see this reveal, or whatever you want to call them, half round, whatever, bead. It ends here, and there's probably one that continued on the Studebaker body down to the line at the other side. Now, I have a bead roller, but when the body was put together, the bead down at that end does not end up at the bead at this end. It's a little bit lower, so you would have to go, if I were to roll another bead, I'd have to go down, make a little dip, and then continue on. So what I did was, or what I'm just playing around with, I got a little piece of sheet metal, and I set it up like that. Alright, let me pull it back here. And I marked this end where the bead was. Then I went down, of course it was longer, I went down at the other end, and I marked at the end of the sheet metal where the bead is on that side. Alright, now I'm going to show you something. So I traced where the bead should be on this piece of metal. Alright, now I had to reverse it because what this bead roller does, so you put it in there and you clamp down the amount of pressure here, and then you turn the handle here, and that'll roll the metal through, and it'll put this bead in here, because the other side of this, underneath here, is a die with a female. It's just the opposite of this. There's like a groove that this will force the metal into, and you can see it's starting to, this is the first pass, it's starting to roll it in there. And there's the little jog where it comes down. Now if I just do a straight line, that'll line up with the bead where it's supposed to be. So this is actually the back side. So I had to draw I marked it on this side, then transferred it to this side, and this is the side that I'm rolling it on. Okay, this is the side that's going to be inside the door if I use this. And the back side under here, this is the side that's going to be outside of the car where the bead that you'll see. Okay? Now, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I don't have the tripod here. Let me see if I can set this down on something and you can watch me a little bit here. Okay, like that. Now it's a little awkward because I got to crank over here and keep an eye on it over here. But as long as I keep it centered in the lines that I drew on here, it should do a real nice bead. It's coming out of the clamp here. It's got to be tight. There's a lot of pressure I'm putting on here. I should probably back it off just a little bit so it won't be so it won't try to force so much metal at a time. I can always make another pass. I should probably make some kind of edge guide to help hold it in place. But this is just something I'm just trying tonight for the first time. I've had this bead roller. Oh my God, I bought this long time ago, and this is the first time I'm ever using it. Okay. Let me set that down. And there's my first pass. I changed, originally I was going to go up like that, but you can see I changed it a little bit. But this is the back side. It's up here and it comes down a little bit. And it's right along here, and it's just, look at the edge, see, it's just starting to roll the bead. Very small, this first pass. Okay. We'll run it through again. I'll tighten it down just a little bit on here, which puts a little bit more pressure, which forces, see, there's the die, the female die, there's the male die. It forces the metal down into that female a little bit further and creates a higher bead. Alright, I'm going to run a couple more passes through and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, there's probably 4 more passes. And that's the bead. Not exactly perfect, but ain't bad for a first time used. You know? You see it's a little bit off down there, a couple inches from the end. But I don't have a guide, you know? And it's tough. If I had somebody rolling it, or if I had it motorized where it would turn slow, see it goes up a little bit. Kind of screwed up right there a little bit. And it's a little wavy down the line there. But all in all, not bad. Not too bad. You know, probably junk as far as somebody else is concerned, but for a first time I think I did pretty good. Let me go out to the car and we'll hold it up against the car and see. I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I got the piece sitting on the door. I just put a C-clamp just to kind of hold it, but you can see what I'm trying to do here. Now if I weld that on the door right about there, you know, cut it in and it'll sit flush, so it'll be a little bit further in. But you see how that line, I don't know if we can, it gets a little dark right here in the shadow of that. Maybe I can, and then it comes down and it lines up with the one in the back. So it's kind of like, it ties this Ford door to the Studebaker body by actually utilizing some of these lines into the Ford body lines that aren't even there. What I'm doing is making lines, I guess. You know? Kind of cool. I don't know. I hate to back up again, and you know that I'm always saying 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But these ideas just keep popping in my head. You know, what to do and change this and do that. And I went to the insurance company today and I got all the paperwork that I need to get the title. That's mailed off. We talked to the registry. They said I don't have... Oops. Well, the clamp doesn't hold much. I didn't really put a lot of pressure on it. But they said I didn't have to pay any taxes, back taxes on the car. And then I could get the title. All I have to do is pay the $75 and the title, and you know, I got a title for the car. So that's in the mail starting tomorrow. The mailman will pick it up. And I got that today. But I'm just kind of working on this door a little bit, just to tie it in. Just a little bit more. You know, maybe I could have just made a, you know, a little one that goes to here. But I don't know. It would seem like a cooler idea just to continue it on down to the other side. I'll still probably end up doing it. I'll end up, you know, this springtime I'll cut it open. And another thing I got to do is, I screwed up on the body back here on the quarter windows. When I chopped the top and welded it back together again, the bottom half of the body and the top half of the body aren't aligned. So what happens is the flat surface that the glass, I don't know if you can, I don't know if this is going to focus, but the flat surface that the glass has to fit to comes like this. but the top half of the body goes in. So it comes up and then it curves in like that. So this top half piece here is kind of like that, where it's welded. Even though it looks flat here, the surface in here that the quarter windows have to go against, you know, the quarter windows will come out here and there's a big gap. So I got to cut this and move the surface that the glass fits against. I got to move that in, so it's in line with the bottom half of this window opening. So I got to do that too. But it's so freaking cold. It's probably about 10-12 degrees out, and way too cold for me to be out here welding right now. So I'm just doing a little quick video showing you what I'm playing around with. You know, there it is, made of bead. It's a little wobbly, but I think I can get away with it. I think I can fudge it enough to, or maybe I'll just make another one and I'll make a guide, an edge guide, that'll actually maintain a straight bead. Or I can get somebody to crank on it so I can keep an eye on where the roller actually is and stays on the lines, you know, because it's tough. Once the crank gets on the far side, I really got to reach. I can't, my face is not close enough to see where the bead roller is. It's kind of a son of a gun to do. But yeah, just playing around. Just thought I'd show you. Mess around. You can see it's a little wavy, you know. It goes in and out, and then, but it's, for the most part, it's not too bad. I might be able to, you know, fudge it in the corners where it's low and high, and, you know, bang it in a little bit, you know, with a chisel, knock it in a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But it's kind of a cool idea. Just thought I'd mess around with that. Alright. See ya.